Here's a great example of fans. What were they screaming all year long? Robert Williams. I want more Robert Williams. Robert Williams, Robert Williams, Robert Williams. Okay, I didn't disagree with that. But right now, you're better with Daniel Theis than you are with Robert Williams. That does not mean this isn't the right thing. What's happening, it doesn't mean Robert Williams isn't going to be what we think he's going to be. This is a special kid, by the way. I mean, he's a great kid in addition to all the things that we see. But you have to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. And all of a sudden, you're left with Robert Williams. You got bailed out against the Knicks because you have Tristan Thompson, an older player, on your roster. You're going to have growing pains. I agree that Robert Williams should play, but you can't have it both ways. You can't say, I want Robert Williams to play. Oh, but I also want to win games. You don't get both of those things. Eventually you might, but that you can't wait. This is what I want as a Celtic fan. I want what I want. I want the defense to be great. I want them to stay at a championship level while they're sort of rebuilding and changing this team. And you want that because you got it already. And instead of appreciating the fact that this team sort of rebuilt on the fly and you spent a year and a half at the bottom of the league, a year and a half. Other teams have been down there for 6, 7, 8 years trying desperately to rebuild or get back to the top. And you have a team that's been to three conference finals in the last 4 years. And again, there are people say, conference finals, we're about championship. All right, why don't you call everybody else in the league? Why don't you take a little survey around the league? Why don't you ask the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are coming in tomorrow, how they would feel about going to the conference finals 3 times in 4 years when they've been there once in their franchise history, when they haven't won in Boston since Wally Zerbiak and Kevin Garnett and Flip Saunders was their coach. It's been 16 years since the Minnesota Timberwolves won a game in Boston. Sacramento just won here for the first time in all that time. So you got to have some perspective on what success is in the NBA. I saw a random tweet from somebody, I don't remember what it was about how come we don't celebrate teams getting to the Final Four in the NBA the way the Final Four celebrate, and obviously different animal on a variety of levels, but there's something to that. I grew up, because I'm the longtime voice of the Celtics and I'm so old, I grew up at a time where baseball only had the 4 teams, right? There was no wild card. There was no, I grew up in the 80s. So you got to the league champ, and that was a big monster deal when you got to the league championship series and you were one of the Final 4 teams. So, I think it should be in the NBA too.